talk about that. What is it going to be like for the last sister? It's like you don't want to be the last one. Everybody else has to go first. There you go. Ready? All right, here we go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unity of Stuart. We're going to sing We're Unity. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Welcome to Unity of Stuart. Welcome to our Sunday morning celebration service. It's good to be here with you today. We have some excitement out in the foyer out there. It's just joy and laughter and connection. And so that's part of the reason why we are here. Welcome. Welcome to all who are in the sanctuary and to all who are watching on Facebook and YouTube. And let's see who is on. There's been a little bit of a glitch in the matrix this morning. So I just want to read you a message. You notice that Don and Doreen aren't here. They were at Unity Village, our mothership, in outside of Kansas City, Missouri, for a music conference that the church sent them on, and they were supposed to go at the end of 2020. And we all know what happened there. So they went this past week. And Doreen's online, and I just want to read what she's saying. Good morning. Made it home very late from Unity Village and grateful for our band and choir, including Mike Jordan, who's stepping in today, for keeping the music going. And so, hey, good morning. Morning, Don. Morning, Doreen. Good morning, Ann. Thanks for watching. And Judy from Albuquerque. She is a congregant from my former church. Hey, Judy, how's it going? All right, and for all of you who are on YouTube, Ellen and Pam and Phil and Jess and whoever else is on YouTube, glad you're here. Again, we have with us, as always, a Joyful Noise band and choir, Jen and Chuck and Donna and Julia and Roberta and Diane and Mike, and they are here to bless us with music today. And Mike is on special music, so. And it's going to be, all going to know this song, and I want to thank Florence Burns in advance for suggesting it. All right, so if you are a first-timer in the sanctuary and you would like to receive a welcome packet, we invite you to raise your hand so Ricky and Mike Not Mike, that's Tom. Not Ricky either. Ricky just walked up and sat down. Okay, I got it. It's Tom and Marge. So while they're doing that, I just want to tell you, I'm wearing 2 hats this morning. I was a sound person this morning. Jerry's on a well-deserved vacation, and so I was a sound dude this morning and also the minister, so go figure. All right, in that welcome packet, there is a form in there that if you take it and bring it to the podium and see Sylvie at the end of the service, she will be happy to take that form, which will get you on our weekly email list, and she will give you a gift. Let's see, for you in the online, if you would like a welcome packet, please email May at admin@unityofstuart.org, and she will be delighted to send you a welcome packet along with the free gift. So along with the form to sign up for our newsletter in the welcome packet, there's also other things that tell you about our unity movement and this particular unity community. And there is a prayer intention or prayer request form in there. If you fill that out and put it in the prayer box in the foyer, our chaplains here will pray over it. And we also send it off to home office, to Silent Unity, where they will pray over it there. If you just would like to take a welcome packet, if you haven't seen one in a while, or you think you might have someone you'd like to share it with, please, on the way out, grab a welcome packet on the left side as you walk out of the sanctuary. And so today, I usually talk about cookies and coffee in the kitchen. Today, we're having a potato bar as a fundraiser for our kiddos, so we can send them off to their Unitine retreats and their YOU rally. YOU standing for Youth of Unity. And here's the thing about that, and I'll talk about this later again. Last week when we announced it, I announced it as a $5 love offering. Inflation told me, and the supermarket told me that we should raise that. So if $5 is what you can donate, please donate that. If you can donate $10, we invite you to donate that today. We talked about prayer chaplains. Who's prayer chaplain today? There's Nancy in the way back. You will know her by her white stole. If you would like some personal prayer today, Nancy will be in the sanctuary after service and would be honored to pray with you and to hold your prayer in the highest confidence. Also, you can send us an email. You see, those of you online, will see that you can email us at prayer@unityofstuart.org, or you can call Silent Unity Prayer Line, and you see the phone number there. Tuesday meditation, as always, with Cheryl Roby at 10 a.m. on Facebook. We invite you to join her every Tuesday morning live on Facebook. And our terrific trio of Doreen and Don and Jen will be blessing us this Wednesday night, 2 weeks, Wednesday night, September 28th, for our Connected Souls after our summer hiatus. So that's at 7 o'clock on Wednesday the 28th, and that is a $10 suggested love offering. It all benefits Unity of Stuart. So today is, the 15th was the start of Hispanic Heritage Month. And so I want to dedicate our service to all Hispanic people near and far, and to remember that no matter where we are from on the planet, we all deserve to be seen, we all deserve to be honored, and we all deserve to live in peace and in safety. And our reading today, our daily word, our affirmation is, I stand firm in spirit, and I am bold and courageous. I stand firm in spirit, and I am bold and courageous. I have daily opportunities to use my strengths, stand firm in spirit, and live life with boldness. I express spiritual boldness as confidence and self-assuredness. I live courageously through my divine identity. Within me are the attributes of divine wisdom, understanding, judgment, and power. At any moment of the day, I can shift my focus inward to my divine core. I shift my energy away from the temptations of self-doubt or uncertainty and towards Spirit's presence and grace. Throughout the span of years and changes life brings, I am secure in that which does not change, the presence and activity of the divine in me. I choose to boldly stand firm in spirit and live life to the fullest. And let's take a deep breath as we settle into our time together, this time of connection and music and teaching and singing, and know that the power and the presence of God that is within us and all around us leads the way into joy, into peace, into prosperity, in boldness, and with courage. And so it is. Amen. All right, let's affirm that together. I stand firm in spirit, and I am bold and courageous. And as we do, let's take a deep breath together, anchoring this affirmation as we affirm one more time together. I stand firm in spirit, and I am bold and courageous. And so it is. Amen. And we're going to prepare for meditation by singing Be Still.
1, 2, 3, go. Be still, be quiet, it's the only way. You will hear the voice of God. It's the only way. Be at peace, love one another. There is no other way. You will feel the presence of the one. It's the only way. It's the only way.
And we breathe deeply, consciously. 1, 2, and 3. As many deep and conscious breaths as you please. And if you are allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm, I invite you to do that as well, dropping your shoulders, feeling your feet on this holy ground. And I invite you to be here now, in this time and space, leaving behind anything that is not of this now moment, the breath, the cool air moving through this room, the sound of the guitar. And it is in this holy space that we do feel the presence and power of the divine infinite. We feel the presence and power of love, of joy, of prosperity, all gifts of the infinite divine. And so, settling ever deeper into this time of prayerful meditation, I invite you to allow the words you hear to become the words of your own mind and heart. I am grounded in spirit. I am grounded in love, in peace, in courage. In this now moment, I know that I am one in the one. And even though there might feel like there is a separation, I know in the absolute truth that I am one in the one. And so I breathe deeply, relax, and allow this infinite presence and power to move in, through, and as me. I am grounded in spirit. I am grounded in love. I am grounded in wholeness. I am one in the one. Grounded in spirit, grounded in wholeness. I am one in the one. In the quiet. And as we have co-created this sacred circle of love, of light, of wholeness, of courage, of love, I invite us to bring into our awareness all of those who are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stuart, and all those who are in our minds and hearts this morning. Seeing each one uplifted in spirit, standing firm, being grounded. And I invite you to speak names or situations out into this holy space. And releasing all into the care and keeping of God. Please join me in praying this in the name, in the nature, in the light, and in the love of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. And let's sing.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Forgive us our trespasses. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. O Lord, leave us not in temptation, but save us from error, and the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever will be yours. Our Mother who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Ooh, visitor. Be careful. Oh, fly away.
Good morning, everyone. We've got some bird excitement by the door.
And you know, I'm like,
I almost
What's-
want to go open the door, see if they want to come in. Looks like
I
they
think
want to go.
so.
little yellow.
Looks like they want to go to church.
They do. I got a capo.
Capo 1.
We got capos. We got this.
He kind of flew there. I hope he's okay.
Again, this is dedicated to Florence, and this is accentuate the positive.
Yeah, baby.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and you've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess Mr. In Between. You got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum. Have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale and Noah in the ark. What did they do when everything seemed so dark? Man, they said, we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale and Noah in the ark. What did they do when everything seemed so dark? Man, they said, we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. Man, they said, don't mess with Mr. In Between.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Joyful Noise. And I just posted a picture on the Unity of Stuart page so you can see our little bird visitor who is still hanging out there right by the door.
The bird visitor.
It looks like a little finch. Like it's little. Is it a finch? Do they have finch here? Is there any birders in the room? All right. Okay. All right, Jen. Let's not. That's okay. I think I've been distracted enough. Maybe it's just listening. Seriously, who said that? Raise your hand. All right, so this month we have been exploring the acts of God, 4 different acts of God. The first week we started with A, Amazing Grace. The second week it was C, and we talked about compassion. And this week we're focusing on to boldly go. To boldly go. Now, yeah, as you can tell, these acts aren't the acts of God that we normally think of when it's a disaster or a tragedy, a hurricane, a fire, floods, whatever it is. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about acts of God that move through the divine and into and through us, and that we can tap into these acts of God in order to elevate our consciousness, to ground us in the absolute truth of who and what we are in every single moment. When we align with these acts of God, we're brought into a greater experience of wholeness, a greater experience of freedom and happiness, despite what is going on in the outer. And as we all know, there is a ton going on in the outer. So, to boldly go where no one has gone before. That's where this title is from, of course, Star Trek. And there's another classic statement about boldness that I want to share with you. It's from H.W. Murray's Scottish Himalayan expedition. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, magic, and power in it. So, we're going to use that as inspiration to boldly go forth today. And so the statement may bring up a question. Boldly go forth into what? Maybe, like me, you've gone boldly forth at one point or another and it didn't work out, right? I have Sophia and I, my daughter who's in the sound booth working the camera. We have a dog, we have 2 dogs actually, Gracie and Cooper. And Cooper was a foster fail, and Cooper is blind and has been blind from birth. So when we first brought Cooper into our home as a foster, I didn't know anything about how to take care of a blind dog. So what I did was I opened the back door, and he went boldly forth right into the fence. Literally, went boldly forth right into the fence. And I said, oh, of course. I've got to show him around. I've got to take him by the hand, so to speak, by the paw, and lead him around the perimeter of the backyard. And let me tell you, once I did that, he never ran into that fence again. And there's a shed, not in the middle, like tucked into the corner, never runs into it. Just goes, he runs very boldly out into the backyard, but he goes around it now, just as if he could see. So when we go boldly forth into something, sometimes before we do that, we need to be shown the way. Right? That's the lesson I learned. We need to be shown the way. And by what? By whom? Spirit. And so going boldly forth, what we're about today is about getting grounded in Spirit and then boldly going forth from that. So, going boldly forth is an act of God. And I want to tell you a little story. Just listen. There was a man looking for a job who saw a very cryptic job notice in the newspaper placed by the local zoo. It didn't say anything about the job itself, but he simply talked about folks needing to be able to keep a secret. So imagine this, you see the newspaper, the zoo was looking for people to work, and they said, if you can keep a secret, you can apply. So he decided to apply. I can keep a secret. I know how to hold the confidence. And so the interviewer asked him some questions about his physical abilities, but they mostly spent their time grilling him about how good he was at keeping a secret or keeping a confidence. So, believing that he was able to do all of that, they offered him the job, and he accepted, and then they told him what it was. Here's the thing, they said. We've been advertising to the public that we're getting a gorilla for the zoo next week. But the gorilla we're supposed to get isn't going to be here for several weeks, and we have people kind of lining up to see this gorilla. So we need to put you in this gorilla suit and go into the gorilla habitat and act like a gorilla until the real one gets here. But of course, you can't tell anyone. It's a big secret. So the man just said, all right, playing along. I suited up and played gorilla. He was having a great time. He enjoyed the enthusiasm of all the people that were visiting the zoo. And one day, as he was swinging on a vine, entertaining a group, he got a little too excited, and he swung so hard and lost his grip over the lion's enclosure. So he falls into the lion's den, and with that, the lion comes running towards him, ferociously growling, roaring, whatever it is that lions do. And the man completely forgot his confidentiality agreement and started to scream, help me, let me get out of here. I'm going to be eaten alive. And when the lion got a little closer, the man heard, shh. Be quiet. You're going to get us all fired. So what did that story have to do with anything? Well, for a lot of us, we're walking around dressed up in an outfit or a costume that isn't truly who we are. We are walking around in a disguise. Amen? It covers up, these disguises cover up who we truly are. These, just like the gorilla and the lion suits, the disguise covers up our true identity. Of course, our disguises aren't made of fabric and fur, but they're made up of false beliefs, of fear, feelings of separation, uncertainty, and lack of confidence. And just like they wanted the gorilla to be in the story, we think this is who we truly are. We think that this is truly, oh, I've always been this way. Or I'm too old to change that, whatever that is. You're never too old, and it's never too late. If you're on this planet, never too old, never too late. So, what we're about today is remembering what we are at depth. What we are. I love this statement from Ralph Waldo Emerson. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. It's all an inside job. When we really connect with what lies within us, our divine nature, the spirit of wholeness, the divine infinite, whatever you call it, God, higher power, whatever you call it, what we are first called to do in every moment of our lives and before every decision, before any, not any action, because of course some of our actions are rote, and what we are required to do in our lives is connect with spirit first. Seek first the kingdom. That's the meaning, the metaphysical meaning of seek first the kingdom and all shall be added unto you. Seek first your relationship with God. Seek first your relationship with spirit, prayer, meditation, kindness, compassion. Be that first. Connect with the ground of our being, and then life becomes sweeter. Life becomes more peaceful. And we get to appreciate much more what we have. Because here's the thing, not for nothing. Boldly going forth without understanding who and what we are can turn into selfishness, aggression, oppression. Instead of letting spirit lead in our lives, we can let the ego lead and our human mind lead rather than our spirit mind. So I invite you to join me in tapping in for a moment to who and what you really are. In order to do that, I invite you to close your eyes. And imagine a very long time ago, before you were a physical being, when you were pure essence. No form, no personality, no name, no gender, no race, no identity of your own. You were just one in the essence and allness of God. I invite you to try and get an image in your mind's eye of what that might look and feel like. Swirling colors, bright white light, pulsating energy, an all-encompassing sense of love, of peace, of calm. Now, imagine that the essence and allness of God so fully desires to know and experience more of its own divine self that from within its own creative nature, a being, a soul being described as you, is created and sent on a mission to earth. And at that moment, you come forth from the soup of creation. Also at that moment, you clearly understand your mission because you hear this. Go to the earth, beloved, and be an individualized expression of God consciousness. Go to the earth and boldly be divine love, divine peace. Be divine creativity, generosity, and joy. See with divine eyes. Hear with divine ears. Be the hands and feet of God. And by God, you're ready. You're ready and excited to come to this earthly expression to boldly be all of this. You are ready and excited to be an individualized expression of oneness. Feel that excitement, enthusiasm for just a moment. Be with it. Bask in it. And just as you are ready to burst forth into the human experience, you hear the divine voice say, "Oh, by the way, you won't remember any of this by the time you get there." And now, right here, as you've remembered who and what you are, I invite you to tap into your heart and listen. What is mine to do? What is the next bold act of God? Could be a conversation you need to have with someone. It could be asking for help. It could be enrolling in a class. It could be balancing your checkbook after being unconscious about your finances. It could be reaching out, making a difficult call. Could be consciously choosing to view a situation in a different way. Could be taking a stand for what is right. Remember who you are, not the disguise of fear and uncertainty and separation, but a divine being of infinite creation, here to boldly express God's love, light, and truth. And I invite you to take a deep breath and come back to the consciousness of this room. And if you have a pen, if you have something to write down, take any old thing out of the back of the seats in front of you and write. If you've got something, write it down so you don't go unconscious about it after you leave. Something came up for you. I invite you to get that written down. And if you didn't get a bold move, I invite you just to be open to the question and see what Spirit has for you. So what then, after we get a bold move that we are called into action around? What do? Remember who we are. We remember who we are, not the disguise of fear, of uncertainty, and separation, but a divine being created in the image and likeness of oneness, able to boldly express divine love, divine joy, divine courage. So, what's next after that? To step out of our comfort zone. There's no growth happening when we stay inside of a little box that we have created that we call our comfort zone. No growth happens there. In order to continue to grow and develop into that which we already are in the absolute, we must take the next bold step. So, many of us here are smack dab in the middle of our comfort zone. You don't have to raise your hand, I'm not going to ask. And many of us do all that we can do to stay right there. Because after all, it's comfortable. It's comfortable. There's less anxiety. There's less risk. We expend less energy. It feels cozy and comfortable in the comfort zone. Yet, there is no movement there. We get complacent. We miss opportunities to expand our horizons. And here's the thing about stepping out of our comfort zone. If you step out of your comfort zone, you're probably going to be scared. It's not easy to leave the comfort zone. In fact, it can be downright terrifying at times. And like if I said to those of you who aren't used to talking in front of a group of people, oh, come on up here and share your story. How many would be terrified? Yeah, some of us would be terrified. And it's perfectly normal to feel fear when we're about to step out or as we're stepping out of our comfort zone. What's important is that we don't let the fear hold us back. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Can you get something accomplished while? Can I get something accomplished while I'm feeling fear? I sure can. I have a lot of practice. Nothing, let me think if that's the truth. Hold on a second. I was going to say, let me just process this in front of you for a minute. I was going to say, nothing wonderful happened in my life that I wasn't slightly afraid of. Now, I'm going to think about that a little while. I don't know if that's 100% true, but it feels like it's mostly true. I had a baby when I was 45. Thank you. There she is back there. She's now 19. I'm 60. I just turned 65. Oh, no, I was early. Oh, yeah, whatever. I just turned 65. I left my home state where I grew up when I was 42 to take a ministry in Albuquerque. Really terrified of doing that. And then left there to come here, afraid of that. Not terrified, but afraid of doing that. Afraid when it became my own thing to be sole minister here. Oh my goodness. And what I was able to do is feel the fear and keep moving. And that's what we are called to do, to not let the fear hold us back. We can accomplish lots of things when we are afraid. As a matter of fact, I submit that if we never did anything that we were afraid of, we would do a whole lot less than what we've done in our lives. right? Amen? Does that make sense? Remember, our ideas, our desires of our heart, our bold ideas come directly from Spirit. It's inspiration. Spirit within comes directly from Spirit. So that means it's ours to do. And that's number one. We will be scared. Number two, you will fail. You will fail. Stepping out of the comfort zone means we're in uncharted territory. Right? We're trying things we've never tried before. We're learning things we've never learned before. And there's sometimes a steep learning curve. Oh, I have a good one for that. When the pandemic started March? I think we closed our doors mid-March in 2020. And then we were left with, how do we do church? We weren't set up to do what we're doing now. And so I took it upon myself to learn how to do church with new software, with an iPad. Some of you remember what it looked like up here with the whole thing over here, then all technology and everything. And I failed sometimes. I screwed up a lot during that time. When something didn't work, something that didn't, whatever. There was a lot of mistakes made. And so I had been afraid, and I was like, oh, dear God, let this work today, right? So stepping out does not mean we will always be successful. And number three, however, we will learn from it. We will learn how to do better the next time. I have learned more from the things that I have failed out than I have from my successes. Maybe you have too. When we fail small and often, we rapidly increase our skills. We learn new insights. And those new insights, those new skills, give us a better chance at succeeding the next time. Number four, what happens then is we begin to see ourselves in a different way. We begin to see ourselves as capable. Sometimes I ask myself, what's the worst that can happen if I try this and fail? I may fail in front of 100 people. I may look silly. I may feel silly, but will that kill me? No. No. So, we will see ourselves in a different way. We get confidence in ourselves that when we step out of our comfort zone, that increased confidence just expands our comfort zone, right? When we step out, right, if this comfort zone's right here, okay, I'm just going to go right here. Look at me. I stepped out of my comfort zone, and our confidence expands. Because the good news about the comfort zone is it's flexible. It's malleable. We're the ones who keep the tight box around us. And the more we do that, the more tools we have at our disposal, and the easier it becomes to continue on what might seem to be a challenging path. And we will develop new skills. There's no way around it. We will develop new skills. When we step away from our limited behaviors, from our limited set of behaviors, the behaviors that we're really comfortable in, when we step away, everything expands, and we develop new skills. And we develop leadership, expertise, just some more good stuff. Because truth is, divine intelligence is working in and through us anyway. And the other thing, too, is what I have learned in my life is that when I try something new and I fail, I don't always have to keep trying until I get it right. I could say no to that and move on to something else, right? And I'm not advocating, being like, oh, it didn't work the first time. I'm gonna let that go. No, after some perseverance, after connecting with Spirit, after remembering who we truly are, if it's still not for you, you can change your mind. We're not stuck in cement when we step out of our comfort zone either. Yes? divine intelligence is working in, through, and as us in every moment. And what is ours to do is to recognize it and to take advantage of it, to use that faith to move boldly ahead. Now, comfort zone. Those who have been attending Unity of Stuart for a while know what to expect here, right? You know how it works. You know how the service goes. You might know a few or a bunch of people. You might feel pretty comfortable. And it feels good to be comfortable, right? For those of you who are here for the first time or the second or third time, you may not feel so comfortable yet. You might be on the edge of your comfort zone right now. New place, new people, maybe a new way of thinking. You're pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone. Good on you. So who here likes to regularly step out of your comfort zone? Oh, we got 1, 2. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Oh, good. Some. All right. Awesome. So this is for everyone who can. I'm inviting you into an experiment. If you're able to move easily, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to stand up, take your things, and move to another seat. Ooh, somebody went, right? Because, oh my goodness, don't go yet. Oh my goodness, I always come to church. I sit exactly there. That's my seat, Pat says. This is my seat. And don't anybody sit in that seat on Sunday because it's mine. Right? If you're willing to do this, I invite you to move across the aisle because that's huge, right? Just moving one seat over isn't out of your comfort zone. All right, if you sit in the back, come to the front. If you sit in the front, go to the back. See what it feels like. If you're at home, get out of bed, sit on a chair. If you're on a chair, sit on a couch. Well, not for nothing, but that sounded like a little bit of fun to me. So how are you feeling? You feeling energized? You don't have to raise your hand, but just check in. Did anybody get annoyed? Did anybody get worried? Right? Wasn't painful? Right. Okay. So, you just stepped out of your comfort zone. How'd it feel? Good? Yeah. So, I invite you to turn your attention once more, if you came up with a bold step during that meditation, to breathe into it. Breathe through any fear. And make a commitment to boldly go forth this week. Remembering again these words. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, magic, and power in it. I invite you to say yes to that truth, to step forth from your God center and remember who you are and why you are here. To go boldly forth. I claim this truth for each and every one of us. Namaste. All right. As the band comes back up, the band and choir come back up. Julia went all the way to the back. As we're getting ready for our love offering blessing, I want to bring your attention to our slide. And for those of you online, I have the links in the comments. Here are all the ways that you can give to Unity of Stuart. We invite you to make use of them. I also invite you to recognize that as you give your gift, we're standing on the foundation of unity here. And what our gift is about is to make that foundation deeper and wider so that your gift goes to make not only this place move and have its being in God, but so that it spreads out into the world. That is what your gifts do, not only for Unity of Stuart, but for the entire planet. So thank you in advance. Thank you for your continued love offerings, tithes, and gifts. Thank you to our consistent givers. I hope you all feel the impact of your giving. And we bless these offerings knowing that they help to transform the world. And let's affirm together our prosperity prayer. Together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of Unity of Stuart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And our love offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
I give and receive always in love.
Let's sing.
We all give our gratitude and give thanks for the multitude of blessings given every day that help us all along the way. We give thanks for a chance to give our gifts and for the lives we live, and all the mercies from above that fill our hearts with grace and love. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. Oh, we give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. Oh, we give thanks.
A couple more announcements. We do have several service opportunities here at Unity of Stuart, but the two that I'd like to hit on today is welcome team. For those of you who are new today, you saw Sylvie at our welcome podium. And for those of you who come in every week, you see someone at the welcome podium every Sunday. And so if you would like to be one of those smiling faces that greets people, I invite you to either see Sylvie at the welcome podium after service, or there is a sign-up sheet out there that you can sign up for more information. Also, hospitality. We are looking for some help in hospitality, coffee, and putting out some cookies on Sunday. If that is a gift that you have, I also invite you to sign up on the information table. I think there might be a sign-up sheet. If not, you can just go in and tell May that you're interested in that. And as every week I announce, we have an ongoing fundraiser for upgrading our parking lot lighting. And as it tends to get darker now, a little bit earlier, we're hoping to get that in this winter. And so if you can give over and above your regular giving, we invite you to do that. And please designate your gift to lighting. Thank you very much. I think that's it. I think kiddos. Are kiddos out there? Yeah, all right, come on in. Let's stand as we sing the kiddos in.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light of God.
All right, please be seated. Testing 1, 2. That's working. All right, Jen. Jen, for those of you who are here for the first time, is our Youth and Family Ministry Director. And these are our kids.
Kiddos. Hey, this is half of them today. The other half's in the kitchen.
All right.
Okay, as always, if you have it in your heart that you would like to come and serve with the kids, let me know. There's lots of different jobs. That doesn't mean you're committed to every week. It could just be a simple help with our activities like we're doing today, our fundraisers, or whatever. Let me know. Today, speaking of, hot potato bar. Ooh, yes. Yay! The teens are in the kitchen getting everything ready. We've got baked potatoes and all the toppings
All right.
imaginable.
All right. And I let them know that inflation told us $10.
Yes,
If that's possible.
we've been doing this for $5. Cost of food has gone way up. We all know. We're all feeling that. If you only have your $5 this week, because that's what we've always done, that's okay. We're asking if you can give $10. That's much appreciated. The money goes directly to sending our middle schoolers and our teenagers to a retreat trip, which is amazing. It's a beautiful thing for them. They love it.
All right. And then finally, Family Promise. We are a helping ministry, a supporting ministry to Family Promise, which helps to house families with children. And they do a good work in the world, and they sponsor a bed race. So our kiddos are teaming up with some of our adults to make a bed and to race in the bed races on October 22nd. And if you would like to help with that, you can sign up. I'll be there on October 22nd to help support our kiddos in the bed races. And if you would like, we're not asking single, just regular old people to do this, but if you know of a business that might like to support that for Family Promises, all the money will go to Family Promise. We invite you to take one of these sponsor sheets and take it around to a business, or if you know somebody, your neighbor or whatever, we invite you to support Family Promise in that way. Anything else? Okay. All right. With that, let's stand as we bless our kiddos. We love you. We bless you. We truly, truly appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. And we invite you to hold our kiddos in your prayers during your prayer time, and to know that as they are divine expressions of the one, so are we all. Let us continue, but closing with a prayer for protection and the peace song together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. Let's sing.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And let's affirm one more time together. I stand firm in spirit, and I am bold and courageous. And so it is. Amen.
1, 2,
Thank you.
3, go.